Like, I think if you listen to me with any regularity, you know that I like to talk about organizations that are doing good things for people, right? Mm-hmm. So a few years ago, I met Stephen Davis, and Stephen Davis is a very successful businessman, and he's doing quite well, thank you. And he saw a need for something that I thought was terrific. And Pat Brady is the one that introduced me to all of this. It's called Tuskegee Next. And if you know the story of Tuskegee in relation to World War II and the great heroes, the African-American pilots, who have faced as much bigotry as anybody or more in the war. And these are incredibly skilled pilots who were heroes of the war and finally recognized as such 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years after the war was over. They laid the groundwork for this. Now, we know all the airlines need pilots, and great pilots can come from anywhere. So Stephen was part of a group that saw this vision of these kids that wouldn't have access to this kind of training. And, part of the deal is when we talk about how do we change things, it's giving any kid, I don't care what color you are, any kid an opportunity to understand that whatever you dream, you can chase. You may not get there, or maybe you'll get there and beyond, or maybe you'll find something else along the way. But Tuskegee Next is a great organization. They got a big benefit tomorrow night, and I just wanted to make sure you all knew about it. And good morning, Stephen.
Good morning. How are you, my friend Steve? Thank you, and thank you to the WLS family for your support since we began the program in 2015. Thank you.
Well, it's an honor to always talk to you. And Tuskegee Next is just a great organization. The Red Tail Ball is tomorrow, and I don't know if you're sold out or not, but either way, I want people to know about the website. Our friend Cam Buckner, I think, is going to be there, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah, he is, and we miss you, and anytime I'm any place, you're always welcome. But we're expecting to have 600 people on tomorrow night. We're really excited about it.
That's great.
We're excited about Representative Buckner coming and being IMC. So we're just really excited about the program and the transformation that's happening in the lives of these young people.
So remind everybody that may know the story, or me that may know the story, remind us the fundamentals here. When did you see this need?
Well, in early, about 20 years ago, I became a commissioner at DuPage Airport, and about 10 years ago, I became the chairman. And anytime you have an opportunity, you kind of have those moments and why? What am I here to do? How can I make the world a little better? My dad had a saying, son, leave it better than you found it. If you take my car, it should have a full tank of gas, or at least more than what it had when you got it. And if you could, wash it. And he had that kind of view on everything. So my view is anything and everything I get involved with, can I say I left it a little better than I found it? At DuPage Airport, we recognize this great GA airport. For those who don't know, we have the legacy of the greatest generation's most patriot soldiers in the Tuskegee Airmen, and this need with gun violence and our kids across the inner cities in an opportunity. And we came together, called a couple people, and we came together, had a gala in 2015, had 8 of the original Tuskegee Airmen there, and it was just magical.
I had an opportunity to meet a couple of those fine men before they passed, and like all World War II vets, they're not inclined to go, oh, listen to what I did.
Right.
But just being in the room with them was exceptional. And as I understand the original mission of the Tuskegee Airmen, they essentially flew a border around the bombers over Italy so the bombers could deliver their payload, and they were on the outside edge, and the first targets that the Germans would take shots at, and they proved themselves again and again and again.
They did. They never lost. They were escorting the bombers. They never lost a bomber. They were heroic. And later we found out that the first Top Gun school ever held, and we celebrate the movie with Tom Cruise, was actually won by the Tuskegee Airmen. So, I think a lot of times you find when people talk about DEI and diversity and inclusion, we talk about less qualified, less service, more cost. And I, in my life, am trying to prove that that's not the case. It's all just about an opportunity. If given an opportunity, people, but regardless of shape, creed, color, can perform. And these kids that we have brought in the program, like the Tuskegee Airmen, have been magical in their performance.
Stephen, it's wonderful to meet you, and this is such a great program that everybody needs to know about. Not only are you really, mentoring these kids that have interest in aviation, may not be able to do it, but also in the program, aside from flight training, you've got the life skills program, which sometimes kind of falls to the wayside because, oh, cool, let's go fly a plane. But these life skills, this is where all kids need to learn, and so that they can grow and carry on this great legacy.
Absolutely. We have community leaders that meet with our kids. And I have to just thank my board and supporters like you guys. We raise enough money to spend about $30,000 on each kid, and we generally have 10 kids. We've had, I think, almost 70 kids come through the program, and over 60 are now pilots.
How about that?
Wow. That's
yeah,
great.
And you will get on I would say within the next few years, you will get on airplanes that are captained by our kids. And this kind of transformation, again, would not be possible without support and the legacy of the airmen. But along with the life skills, we ask our kids, we tell them that there is a moral obligation to repay. That if we're raising money and spending $30,000 to $50,000 on you to become a pilot, all we ask is that you excel and position yourself to help someone else, to leave it better than you found it.
Well, that's
and
great
they
life.
are doing it.
That's a great piece of life advice right there. You're a good man, Stephen Davis. For information on Tuskegee Next, we hope that you will take a look and help however you can. It's TuskegeeNext.org. Don't worry, I'll spell it for you. No, actually, I won't based on this.
Thank you.
TUSKEGEE Next, TuskegeeNext.org. Google it. TuskegeeNext.org. It'll be right there, and then you can go ahead and make a donation. But thank you for the success in this. Keep it rolling, and have a great time tomorrow night.
And thank you again for your support into the WLS family.
You bet.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.